A moment ago, the Nets with the ball down by 10. Wallace over to Williams for three. And again, Noah comes down with the rebound.
Great execution and a really good-looking shot. I mean, that was halfway down for Williams. Just couldn't get the roll.
The Bulls, despite all the injuries this season, went 45-37. They finished as the number 5 seed. We talked about this before, how unusual. They did not ever win more than 4 in a row or lose more than 4 in a row. The save attempt by Boozer ends up in the hands of the Nets. And Johnson, who's had a subpar shooting performance, throws cross-court, nice pass. Right on target for Lopez.
Dangerous pass, leaving his feet. But when he did that, it forced the rotation from Chicago, and Johnson was able to find Lopez cutting.
8-point lead for the Bulls. Noah got the step and scores again.
He's at left. Beautiful feed from Robinson.
Williams looking for a three. Wallace shoots for three. Rebounded by Bellinelli.
Once again, Bulls just packing the paint, trusting the fact that they're going to play the percentages. Wallace has hit some threes, but as we know, it's not really his game. Less than 30% from three this season.
Robinson, Wallace rebound. Here's Williams. Trouble pass. Wallace handles and puts it in. Now the Bulls have made it clear they do not mind seeing Gerald Wallace fire a three-point.
Yeah, they do mind him getting those transition baskets. That's where he's lethal. But meanwhile, Brooklyn has to have 2 or 3 stops in a row here.
Bellinelli off the rim. And here's Johnson. Coming up on 2.5 to play on the fourth. Williams passed on a three. Johnson for 3. Came up with air. Deflected out. And last touch by Chicago.
Here's that pick and roll action with Robinson giving Noah the ball in perfect rhythm. I thought Darren Williams should have shot that ball in transition. Well, if he had an open look, Johnson ended up taking a much tougher shot from the corner.
Williams counts on the foul. Darren Williams in traffic, able to go glass, and he will head to the line. The foul on Boozer. That's number 5 on Carlos Boozer.
So much pressure on Williams and Johnson in this game. Not only are they the stars, but this is a Brooklyn team whose bigs are not great passers. So the guards have to generate almost every offensive possession. And with Johnson struggling, Williams really has to be the guy here down the stretch.
Only 3 of 5 at the line and a very good free throw shooter. 3-point play for Williams. The Bulls lead is 5. Down to 2 minutes, 20 seconds remaining. Fourth quarter. Robinson. And it's deflected out. Last touch by the Nets. Chicago is 9 on the 24.
Bulls cannot forget about Bellinelli. He's so good in pick and roll situation or coming off screens. He's got to be involved here.
Shot clock to 5. Bellinelli backs it up. Got the step and scores. He's able to go the lane and flip it home. Just under 2 to go in the fourth. 7-point lead for the Bulls. Wallace. Noah got a piece of it. Another block shot by Noah. Darren Williams saying he hit me with the elbow. Shot clock. Out of 5. There are no hurries. Now Robinson has to go. He does. And came up short. Williams hustles it across. Wallace for 3. And Lopez in the putback.
Well, the Bulls would have been fine with a 24-second shot clock violation at the other end. And they were about a half second from that happening. But Reggie Evans grabbed that ball starting the fast break.
Nets do have a foul to give. As goes Chicago, coming up on a minute to go. Noah has to chase. Shot clock. Putting moves on Butler. Gives it right back. Johnson for three. And the struggle continues.
Now you've got a foul.
Williams does just that with 32.8 remaining. And that's the foul to give.
I thought Brook Lopez passed up two open looks here, Marv. You got to be the aggressor down the stretch, and that is exactly what Marco Bellinelli was. Shot clock running down, gets right to the rim, and now very lazy here. Brooklyn taking their time defending and committing that foul, wasted 4 or 5 seconds.
Now the Nets are over the limit. And Bellinelli will go to the line. He's 1 for 1 at the free throw line.
There were a couple of situations in that last possession where Brook Lopez just didn't even look at the hoop. He's too good of a shooter and too important of a player for the Nets to not be aggressive down the stretch.
Bellinelli 84% during the regular season. I don't know if his mindset was, well, we have to set up for three, which is not the case. No. Because he was looking for the three-point shooters. And Joe Johnson with the look from the corner, but he's 2 for 13. He's had only one hit on a perimeter shot.
And it seemed like the ball kept ending up in his hands here the last couple of minutes. Williams and Lopez passed up open looks to feed the ball on to Johnson. Should have been the other way around.
In fact, Johnson 1 of 8 from beyond the three-point line. Let's take a timeout. They are down by 7. The winner tonight advancing to the Eastern Conference semifinals to face the defending NBA champion Miami Heat. That'll be Monday night in Miami and right here on TNT starting at 7 p.m. Eastern time.
You know, we talk so much more about playoff experience and the process of going through these games and these series as a team. I think this series has really shown the maturity of Chicago, the foundation that Tom Thibodeau has built of defense and toughness and hustle, and maybe the immaturity and the inexperience as a unit of Brooklyn. They've got guys who have been through the wars individually, but as a group, they haven't. They don't have the experience Chicago has. And in the end, assuming Chicago hangs on, to me, that's the difference, along with throwing that game 4 away. I mean, that's, you look at back at this series as a Nets fan, that's the one you look at. You very rarely get away with blowing a game in the playoffs in terms of the entire series, and it's going to come back to haunt Brooklyn, it would appear.
And how about the Bulls coming out with the aggressive attitude, the energy? Nets did not have it except for a stretch in the third quarter, and now in desperation here, final minutes of the fourth.
Well, you need a three. You've got Williams coming off the pick here.
And here is the three-point attempt. 4-point lead, 26.6 to go. And a reach-in foul. Nets are over the limit. Foul is on Williams.
Great play drawn up by P.J. Carlissimo. Williams sets a screen and then becomes the shooter. And Williams knocks that down. Beautiful stroke.
Once again, Marco Bellinelli at the line. He's 3 for 3. He has 22 points, matching his total of Game 6, which is a playoff career high.
You see the timeout situation, Chicago with 3 left, Brooklyn with just 1. Another big free throw from Bellinelli. 23 now, coming off that 22-point effort. It's amazing how many heroes there are on this Bulls team. Where do you begin? Tonight you begin with Noah. He's the MVP, but Bellinelli, Butler for his defensive work.
And how about bench players coming off the bench players? How deep this team is. And we're looking at a team doing it without Kirk Hinrich the last 3 games. Luol Deng the last 2. Robinson, Gibson playing through the flu. 20 seconds to go. Williams off the fake. Back tap by Lopez with 10 seconds remaining. Here's Johnson again, way off that. From deep, he had to fire it up. And that will do it. The Chicago Bulls defeat the Brooklyn Nets in this opening round series in 7. An inspirational series for the Bulls. They advance to the second round to go up against the Miami Heat. Game 1 in Miami on Monday night. So after getting blown out in Game 1, this injury-hit club wins 3 in a row, including that extraordinary triple overtime win in Chicago. The Nets come back. They take games 5 and then game 6. But in the big picture, a disappointing finish to the season for the Nets following a successful regular season. They won 49 games, earning the number 4 seed. They've come a long way from their recent years in New Jersey. And now, Steve, the major question, the future status of head coach P.J. Carlesimo, who took over from Avery Johnson and put together a record of 35-19 to finish up the regular season, but there's been no indication from net management as to P.J.
He did a terrific job with this club this year, getting them to bounce back after their slow start. I think Brooklyn is still a player short, at least, maybe 2. They need more shooting. They need, I think, a little more experience, toughness. But give all the credit to the Bulls. They earned this series.
And what a great job by Tom Thibodeau. Certainly one of the premier coaches in the NBA. To do it with a squad that has been depleted for most of this series. Let's go to Rachel Nichols with Joakim Noah.
Joakim, you said this was a team of fighters, and no matter how depleted you were going to fight back in this game. How'd you do it?
It feels so great right now, but we fought really hard. A lot of guys are out, and we just wanted to make the city proud, make Chicago proud. That was the whole thing. Since the beginning of the year, we've been through a lot of adversity, and to be able to win a Game 7 like this is huge. But now we're playing against the defending champs, biggest stage in the world, and we're excited.
Derrick Rose is out. Kirk Hinrich is out. Luol Deng is at home because he was in the hospital just a few hours ago. How did you guys manage to win this game without a lot of your main guys?
Team of fighters. And we're not going to give up. We're not going to give up. We're going to keep fighting. Hopefully, some of these guys get healthy and come back and help us for the next series.
You mentioned Miami. What can you do against a team that has given you trouble in the postseason?
They're a very good team, they're very good, but, like I said, we're going to keep fighting, do our best, and see what happens.
They are a very good team, but you guys not so bad yourself tonight. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Rachel. Also a team with a lot of heart as they beat the Nets in 7. Noah, 24 points, 14 rebounds, playoff career high of 6 blocked shots. So a semifinal Eastern Conference matchup. The Bulls and the Heat split the regular season, so that's what that's worth, as we've talked about many times. The Bulls did snap the Heat's 27-game win streak that game in Chicago.
That was the important one, Marv, because it kind of gave people a little bit of a blueprint in terms of being extremely physical with Miami, and that's what you have to expect going into this series. It is going to be an all-out war between these two clubs. Bulls will try to knock Miami around as much as they can.
And we'll have that for you Monday night starting 7 o'clock Eastern Time right here on TNT from Miami. Thanks to our producer, Scott Cockrell, Director Renato Law, Statistician Brian Taylor. Again, the final score, the Bulls 99, the Nets 93. Coming up next, Inside the NBA, presented by Hyundai. For Steve Kerr, Rachel Nichols, and the rest of our crew, Marv Albert saying good night from Barclays in Brooklyn. You've been watching the NBA on TNT, the exclusive home of the 2013 Eastern Conference Finals. Now let's go to our studios in Atlanta. Ernie, Kenny, Charles, and Shaq.